Metallic Hydraulic Ramone is easily one of the most pointless Cars diecast releases of all time, and in my opinion, he may very well be a contender for one of the worst Cars diecasts ever made. Very bold claims to make right at the top of my review, I know. So why do I feel this way? Well, it's simple. He is a metallic variant of Hydraulic Ramone, a car that already has metallic paint. This is a completely useless, pointless, insanely redundant diecast to make. Look, there is a difference between the metallic paint used on metallic cars diecasts, such as this one, and the shiny paint used on items like this Ramone. This isn't really a fully metallic item in the way that this is. It's more of a sort of shiny, sparkly item. As you can see, he's got kind of that sparkle going on, whereas this diecast has that complete metallic finish. But still, if you look at these two, yes, the way they're shiny is different, but they really made a chase release, a limited edition chase release, out of a metallic version of a Ramone that already had shiny paint. It's so completely useless, and that has made me so fascinated by it. This guy came out in 2010 as one of the only non-lenticular releases in the sort of Piston Cup Nights lenticular line. It was just him and a couple other chases, one of which was the similarly pointless metallic Darrell car trip, another car whose regular diecast has that sparkly paint, and then they said, here's a metallic version of him. Also out in that line was Metallic DJ, who I love very much, and I've had for many years. If you watch Cars Adventures, you know that's my main DJ in that series. That's a different situation. That is actually like a justified metallic car, but this Ramone is so ridiculously unnecessary. I have been fascinated by it for a very long time, and I'm very happy to finally add it to my collection. I love collecting Ramones. I don't have very many left in my collection that I need to get. This one is pretty inexpensive online, and it's just so weird, I thought I'd pick it up. So I asked for it for my birthday, and I got it, and now we have it here. Several months later, I'm very excited to review this guy. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another review and to another birthday haul review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at an incredibly unique and interesting item. This is Hydraulic Ramone with metallic finish, number 117 in the 2010 line. Again, he was one of very few non-lenticular, non-final lap, non-Cars Tune items released in 2010. As you can see, he is a chase release. You got your nice artwork of Hydraulic Ramone there, and that classic stylized Piston Cup background. On the back, you can see, look for more of my friends on the flyer inside, all your legal information, and that really weird window box packaging. Was never a big fan of this. It makes these cars an absolute nightmare to open, but it does work, you know, for the lenticulars. It allows you to see both of their expressions a bit easier. This guy, of course, is not a lenticular, but still, yeah. So we're gonna open this up very carefully. Oh wow, wait, hold on. This is coming clean off. That is really nice. I'm always so nervous with opening these because I like to preserve my card backs, and it's very hard to open one of these without ripping up the bottom. But luckily for us, it looks like we got a copy where that bubble was ready to come clean off. So that is definitely gonna minimize the damage that can be done to the cardboard. Look at that, wow. That is easily the cleanest opening I've ever had on one of these card backs. No rips, no tears. Great, can perfectly fit into my card back collection. And now, what metallic, hydraulic, whatever his name is, Ramone doesn't know is that I don't plan to open him, and I'm going to lock him in the plastic forever. Okay, fine, we'll do the review. All right. Of course, there is a closer look at the name tag. He's part of sort of the Radiator Springs assortment. This is one of the years where they put sort of series on the little name tags. Now, I am curious to see what's on this pamphlet that comes with them. Always love reviewing a car with a pamphlet, but they do tend to be the exact same. Let's see, is it going to be the same as this one? I have two different lenticular pamphlets on my wall. One's the front, one's the back. Let's see. Oh, this one actually is different. Hey, okay, so we have Bling Bling McQueen. Yeah, we have some different cars down here. Interesting. Very slightly different than the ones I have on my wall. Again, that's the back of one, that's the front of one. I don't remember if the fronts of those two are the same or not. I believe they're the same front, so I just displayed the back of the other one. Your favorite characters with eyes that change. Wow, I'm sure all the Cars fans will love that, and it won't be looked down upon many years later as one of the worst decisions they've ever made. You can see some of the different series include Piston Cup Race Day, Radiator Springs, and Dynaco. For Radiator Springs, we got the Ferrari F430, Yellow Ramone, Dirt Track McQueen. For Piston Cup Race Day, Jay Limo, who was actually my first ever lenticular, Vern and Charlie Checker. For Dynaco, you can see Bling Bling McQueen and Tex. And on the back, we got some of the tuners. Yes, the back is different as well. We got Boost, Snot Rod, and, of course, Wingo, Chick Hicks, The King, and Winford, Bradford, Rutherford, and Lightning Ramone, and Pit Crew member Sarge on there, and sort of a Pit Crew category. There's all the legal stuff and the website and all that stuff. I actually recently got lenticular RPM from Robin a few months back. Very excited to review that. Anyway, here is metallic hydraulic Ramone out of the package, and I'm not gonna lie, he does look pretty nice. He definitely is shinier than the original hydraulic Ramone. Okay, that barely shows up on camera, genuinely. But in person, he honestly is quite a bit shinier. Like I said, there's a difference between the sparkly paint and the metallic paint. You can definitely see, if you look at the eyelids in particular, see there's a difference between the sparkles and the metallic. I don't know which I prefer. There is something to be said about how smooth and clean this Ramone's metallic paint looks, especially when you hit him with certain lighting at certain angles. This looks really smooth, really clean. I do think one of the biggest downsides for this item, beyond the fact that it's completely redundant because that Ramone is already shiny, is the fact that hydraulic Ramone is a Ramone with a lot going on. And of course, in classic metallic car fashion, only one color is made metallic. So all these other red pieces on him are still the same flat red color as on the normal variant. I think they should have chosen, if they were to give any Ramone this treatment, they should have chosen one that's a bit more blank so that we could see a bit more of that special metallic paint, because it does honestly look really slick, really clean if you hit it at the right angles. Look at that. That's a really, really nice metallic red. It's just that all the ribbons and the other stuff are really in the way, so you don't get to see all that much of it. Anyway, yeah, I mean, like, what else is there to say about this right out of the box, right? It is just a slightly, I wouldn't even say more metallic. It's just a differently metallic variant of hydraulic Ramone. But what I think really makes this item not only unnecessary, but just straight up not that good, is the eye plate. I have never seen a copy of this Ramone with a decent eye plate. Since this is 2010, you're going to have eye plates and mouth plates, and usually they look fine on cars, in my opinion. Some of them are pretty bad. Most of them are all right. This Ramone, every copy of him I've ever seen, the eye plate has been really, really bad. Look at that. You could fully see the gap. I could, like, can I get a sheet of paper? Hold on. I could fully stick a sheet of paper in the eye plate. It's just, I know it's not just my copy. Yeah, there you go. Every copy of this Ramone I've ever seen, unfortunately, has this just really poorly shaped eye plate. And I think if the eye plate was better, then it would be a significantly better looking item. But, you know, I really think that cements this as not just an unnecessary diecast, but also just kind of a bad one. That eye plate is pretty rough. He's the exact same as your normal hydraulic Ramone, of course, with the same face, same mouth, same front detailing. He does have a mouth plate as well, does he? Oh, no, actually, he doesn't. I thought he had a mouth plate, too. All right, so no mouth plate on this guy. I'm not sure if Ramone ever received mouth plates. On the side, we, of course, got that ribbon pattern and the same designs on the top, on the back. Of course, this is from before they started putting the Radiator Springs logo in the back Ramone. Low and slow license plate, as you would expect. There is a look at the other side. There is a look at the base. And finally, there is one more item I want to compare this guy to. That being the most recent version of this character, I guess second most recent version of this character, his Thailand variant, which is even more metallic than the original release. So here is the metallic variant that you can currently pick up in that 5-pack. He's getting a single release in 2026. Of course, that's one of the new 2026 made in China variants, but he's basically identical to the Thailand variant, so I assume the paint will be as well. But there's a comparison between those two. He does continue to have the sparkly paint, but he's even more metallic than the original, continuing to make this item just such a strange choice. It's so weird that they made this. It's so odd, and it's such an unnecessary item to get a metallic variant of. Same with Daryl Cartrip. These are just such weird cases. I can't help but just love the fact that this exists. It's so pointless and weird and unnecessary that it kind of loops around to become great. But, like, this guy's just going to sit, on my table next to this one. And I think most people that see it aren't going to be able to tell the difference. Regardless, I'm glad to have it. Always love getting a new Ramone variant. And this one has just such a weird history, and it's such a weird product, I knew I had to add it to my collection. At the top of this review, I said he was one of the most pointless cars of all time. I still agree with that. I also said he was probably one of the worst of all time. And while I don't think he's crazy, super bad, that pointlessness is really not doing him any favors, and the bad-looking eye plate as well. The metallic paint does look really clean, and in a world where this Ramone doesn't exist, then this is a good item. It's just the redundantness makes it so unnecessary. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let's get the third Ramone in here. We have a hydraulic Ramone party. Should I get an actual hydraulic Ramone, like a raised-up Ramone, so we could have even more hydraulic Ramones? Whatever. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now. Alright, they're going to leave one by one. No, metallic hydraulic Ramone, they all went the other way. Idiot. There you go. What'd you think of that, Race and Rescue Sally?